I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. As we proceed, later on, we may have to take a little recess, but we'll see how it goes. Nelson Fiscal Court will meet in closed session at the tail end of our regular business meeting as per KRS 61-810-1F, where discussions might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, and that will be at the tail end. Magistrates, the first order of business would be the minutes. Minutes from the October 3 meeting.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion been made by Sam Hutchins. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Jerry Hahn. Any further discussion? And all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? The motion will carry. Next will be your bills list and transfers and additional bills list. Questions on the bills list?
Ellis told me on that tractor setup. How long was he out there on that?
3 hours.
Is that right?
They had to bring what's called the rotator truck, where Jared is in your district.
I know.
Where he had set up, so don't get me wrong, that's very expensive. I agree, but he's the only guy in town that really has what they call that rotator truck. I don't think Mikan has one.
And that limited the damage to our...
Oh, an hour later, tractor.
Yeah, back on the road going.
He just, Keith was driving.
Damn if you do,
up
damn
too
if you
steep
don't.
on a hill.
Yeah, that's
Laid the tractor over.
Has he never drove that hill before in his career with the county, or what?
That's incorrect, he's drove before.
It's an oops moment.
Just made a mistake.
Okay.
That's all I got.
The service was delivered, whether we wanted to, we had very little choice there. You probably saved yourself a lot of damage to the vehicle by using that piece of equipment.
You tore a cab up, you get in serious money.
Yeah.
Is that the one that already had the crack cab?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't say.
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion and transfers.
Thank you, Bernard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Sam Hutchins. Now, further discussions, you had something on your mind, you want to go ahead and get it off. I'll
wait.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, and motion will carry. Now we're going to skip item number 1, we're going to go to item number 2, and to let you know, and the public know, this has already been made public, that the Fiscal Court and the Barstown City Council will have a joint meeting at the Nelson County Public Library Thursday, October 19th at noontime. Media's, obviously this is an open meeting. Court has agreed to, and the council has agreed to meet, and just basically we'll start out with the city update us on their ongoings of city government, and we'll do likewise from the county to the city folks, and then we'll do some open discussions with the magistrates and council on various amounts of subjects, including the police, fire, dispatch, recreation, and so forth. And this is an attempt to get relations back on track with city and county governments, even though never was severed on my part, but it didn't go well for a couple of years here, but we're back on track, and hopefully this will start the next, I guess, we did this several years ago and seemed to help understand each other's positions. I look forward to that. It's at the Nelson County Public Library. Questions, guys?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we tried to get it some time ago, but just didn't.
It just never has worked out.
Let's go on to the road department report. Brad?
All right, so let's go with bridges. We'll go in order here. You guys get a summary of the bridges, is that correct? Elaine, did you get a summary of the bridge bids?
No.
I emailed them to you, all right?
What was that?
The bridges?
Yeah.
I emailed everybody, didn't I?
Did y'all get it? Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay. So Elaine, I'll get them to you here in a second.
Yeah, I'll have hard copies.
Let's go with Hugh Ice Loop, because that's probably the simpler of the two we need to discuss.
I thought Brad had sent you one.
I did
Go
send
ahead.
it.
I got one.
All that being said, let's move forward. I'll get you our copy.
Jeff's got one.
Hugh Ice, we had 2 bridges in which we had a grant from the state. It's called an 80-20 deal. They pay 80%, we pay 20%. The one on Hugh Ice Loop, which is a 50-foot long bridge, is what will be placed back. Both these bridges have been downrated to 3 tons at this point in time, which is basically vehicular traffic. So Scott and Murphy was the apparent low bidder on Hugh Ice Loop at $188,890. And then on Higdon Loop, the apparent low bidder is Galusha Contracting at $143,643, 36. So what we would need, both contractors are state certified, and I'd recommend on Hugh Ice Loop, awarding it to Scott and Murphy, and then on Galusha Contracting for the Higdon Loop. Both will begin this fall, is what they're indicating.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you ever get any references?
Yes, Mike, they gave Mago as a reference, particularly Mike Rogers, and then they gave Chad Philly after, Keith's asking about the Galusha Contracting. We've never dealt with this company before. The history behind Galusha Contracting is the gentleman that runs it, Scott's his name, Scott Galusha, used to work for Van Meter. Bernard remembers that name very well because they bored under our Bluegrass Parkway one time for us.
Did his job.
So this gentleman, I think, worked for 25, 26 years for Van Meter running their bridge division. He has decided now to go out on his own. And when I mean recently, I mean within the past month. So, yes, he's a new company.
And he's certified by the state.
He is state certified. He had his certification submitted with his bid. He
Now,
can
to
go-
be certified by the state, don't you have to have some?
You have to show some, no, you gotta show experience, which I'm sure they allow him to count his, I'm only assuming, I'm not the guy that does that. But I would assume they allowed him to count his Van Meter experience towards it. And then you gotta show assets that you can back up. Yeah, your bonding capability. So he will have to be bonded, both contractors have to be bonded for this particular project. or
Does he
these-
have any projects out there that he's done?
Nope. None as of right now.
You're gonna be a guinea pig.
I'll be honest with you, if I was gonna let him do one of the two, yours would've been the one I'd let.
Yeah.
Bernard's is very much
It's a
more
very simple project.
complicated through the
beams
water
are-
line.
The beams are done by somebody else.
Right. They're precast box fans.
Beams.
So, he meets the qualifications per on paper.
Combined, both of these are under budget, right, when we add our extras, we have to do guardrail and other things to the projects. This was an 80-20 project, and in doing so, we'll be on target of where we need to be financially.
And you guys see on yours in particular, I think the next closest bid, Tyler's got my sheet, is who's Scott Murphy, about $11,000 more, is that right, off the top of my head?
Yes.
Hornback Construction, who's been done a lot of work for us in the past, was about $26,000 more.
Yes.
So significant savings, in all honesty, Keith.
I understand, but before we've dealt with people that was
I agree.
only
I agree.
one time and you had to babysit them every day.
100%? I know.
And you know what I'm talking about.
That's
I know exactly what you're talking
Once you
about.
get the head walls, all you do is set the box.
I agree. I mean,
Remember the first time you dug a footer or a basement wall for a basement wall company?
it was perfect.
I think this bridge is gonna be perfect too, Keith.
I had to do that, didn't I?
And I had to do that to you. Very smooth.
All right.
Now, so here's what you guys will see from us if you decide to award to these contractors is I will do a notice of award and then we'll do a change order right off the bat. The reason being we will buy the beams direct. So we save certain taxes. Yes, throw it out there. So yes, so the bond that will come in to cover them will not include the beams since we're buying the beams. And we do that to save that 6%.
Yeah.
I can tell you the beams on your project are $40,000. So you can adjust it out, furnish yours will be $60,000. So you take $6,000 generally, I'm shooting from the hip.
Right.
I know your price.
Yeah.
So it's a good savings. So when you guys see if something, you see the bond come in a little more or less, that's the reason we do that. You only have to cover his work, not the beams, since we're buying direct.
Motion in order to make an award to Galusha and to, what was the other name?
Scott Murphy.
Scott Murphy, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Bernard. Second by Keith Metcalf. Further discussion? All approved, say aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry.
Thank everybody that, Brad, and all the work you've done on this. I absolutely appreciate it, and I know my constituents will also.
That's a good program, Jeff mentioned. It's a really good program. You can use that on culverts. It's not only for bridges.
Yeah, and we do
Now,
them uncovered.
I can tell you, we have tapped the well now for a while. So it'll be a little bit before
We dug a little deeper than we normally dig with the state.
Oh, next
You
year.
didn't even thank the judge, though, did you?
Everybody involved, they come.
Okay.
Yeah, I covered,
I'm messing
I
with
covered
you.
all the bases.
I'm messing with
Well,
you.
this is good Friday, because I got that road closed. and
Yours is,
school bus
yours is probably
a problem.
the safety, more safe, super more safety because of the hill and
Right.
stuff.
Okay, Blacktop update. See last report.
Well, I put it on the agenda. I want everyone to know that, I mean, there's a lot of asphalt resurfacing going on in town. It's not just our county maintained roads. It's the city streets, it's federal highways, the state.
Well, they're in Keith's district. He keeps saying we're not in his district. They're in his district. It's not his road.
So let's look at the big picture of things. We're elected to look at the bigger picture, and I just wonder, there is, I mean, we've got, mega won't get done, but the state work this year. There's just that much work out there with the 31E project, the Bluegrass Parkway project, the 31E South project, yours.
247 up in, going from New Hope to
Marion County.
Marion
Marion
County.
County, yeah.
They're done
So
with that.
we're blessed, that's kind of our blessings.
They did Tiffin Avenue.
I'm giving a sermon today, you don't have to go to church.
I went Sunday.
I know you State letting for Highway 150 project, just to let you know that the state is, on October 27th, going to have a letting for the bridge on Highway 150 Springfield Road. That will start, probably more likely start in the spring, but they could set up a little later on in the fall. So keep an eye on that bid at the letting up in Frankfurt. I'll get you some details on it as it become available. But I want to put that on the list because we've been talking about that for 8 years, right, Sam?
At least.
Maybe longer than that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What are they exactly going to do there? Widen it one lane each way,
The
or?
bridge that they will construct will be a 5-lane, what plans we've seen, will be a 5-lane bridge. The project that they're letting is from interchange to interchange. When I say that, exit ramp to exit ramp. So they'll rebuild the bridge 5 lanes and then widen that road out to those interchanges. Now, how they'll utilize those 5 lanes of the bridge until they widen the rest, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's discussions of only keeping 3 lanes open, for now until they widen the rest of it out. But
It's going to help my.
it will help some, it's not the fix. I mean, the fix is.
Well, this
all the
will
way
tie
out to-
into the rest of the project.
Correct. The rest of the projects is what we're hearing is going all the way from the red light at Lowe's, basically, all the way back to Leslie Ballard, but that's a lot of money. A lot of money.
Okay. Next on the road department, we had an advertisement today for a legal notice on Love Ridge Road, Nelson Fiscal Court, at our meeting on October 17th. We'll conduct a public hearing for the purpose of determining whether a portion of Love Ridge Road, County Road number 1031 in Chaplin, Kentucky should be closed. The petition has been filed by Nelson County to close the following section described in the advertisement there. And it's about approximately 900 feet, Brad, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. This time we'll open this public hearing section of the fiscal court today as advertised. Is there any public comment from anybody present today? I have not received any written comment. Does anybody speak for or against? I know I have a couple here that's wanting Mr. and Ms. Stanford, right?
Correct.
Stamp. That you do want the road closed. There's no other, I guess, objection. Then we'll close the public hearing section of the meeting and turn it over to Brad.
Okay. And I will submit to the fiscal court a letter. This meets our KRS requirement. Basically, at the court's request per KRS 178.072 citizens, which was Stacy Gordon and Harold Thomas Coulter. We took a look, I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, took a look at the road on on Love Ridge, as noted in this plat. I'll let you guys look at the plat. We agree there's no inconvenience that will result from the discontinuance of this portion of Love Ridge Road. Matthew, that is straight from the KRSs on how they want us to submit this. So this is official submitted. Lane, I'll give you a copy for that. You guys want to see, or are you guys all comfortable with where it is?
I guess as long as you guys.
I'm gonna give you a copy. I really-
Yeah, the meeting went well.
You'll get back to me.
Jeff, what it is, Love Ridge used to come up here and went this way.
I don't blame you.
And when they built 555, they cut this little, they cut it over here, so they cut off this section. There's one particular family that owns all this property now, all the way back here, with the exception of one little track one. That's the reason we went past track one, to keep it open to the county. I've got the name if you want it, the people who own that. And we contacted them, they're fine with it.
He done 5 messed up.
Well, he wasn't sure.
Morley was the last name. Morley.
I don't want to have dog in the front.
Right.
What? No, I'm good.
It wasn't nothing to do with the deal, right?
No, we clarified that.
At this time, Jerry, it's your district, I've entertained a motion. Since due process has been dealt with, motion to close that section as advertised of Love Ridge Road. Motion's been made by Magistrate Gary Hahn. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? No, you're too a little slow this morning.
I'm reluctant to do those, but
Yeah.
that's fine, as long as you
First
guys
one
are
I've ever
certain.
done.
Yeah.
So, that's fine.
All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion carried. Thank you all.
So what'll happen now is we'll put a sign up, basically under county maintenance.
And the
We have the
county
right to build, they dedicated an easement, or actually right away to us.
To do a
build a
cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac. So at what point in time we deem it's necessary to go up and build one, it's our property. We can go up and
And thank you all for your patience back there. Brad did a good job on this. He needs to be commended because they're not easy to get everybody together and making it work, but thank you all so much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Brad, the rest of your report?
All right, Bush Hog, we're in District 4. Guys, we're going to eventually need input back from you all on how long we want to go and whatnot. What you're seeing out there, you guys probably are out more than I am, so get back with me individually and see what you think.
Where are you now?
They'll have you mowing in the snow.
Boom mower is not running just because we are paving and chip sealing and whatnot, and we just do not have the personnel to run it. We're one short, and we've discussed that, and we're okay with that for right now. So.
Another one or two short here shortly.
Possibly. We've chip sealed Ginseng, Hutchins Lane, I think that's the name of it, right? Hall Simpson. We've gone back to hot patching because we had a week worth of rain where we had to get off chip sealing, so we just went and shouldered Tom Greer. Now we're back on, I gotta get this little bit of patching left done before this cold weather sets in. So Jerry, we're actually hitting a section of Murphy Lane today that got done about the repair.
Yeah, but did you go out there and look at Wilkerson Hill that I was talking about?
Nah, I ain't got to that one yet. We'll have to look at it. Then we're going to the Burns District's got a few, Sam's got a few. Keith, I think I've got all yours. I believe I've got yours. So we're trying to get that patching done before this cold weather sets in, then we'll go right back to chip sealing until it gets too cold again. Great All Crew just signs cross drain on Hardin Leslie. Cold mix and potholes. Keeney Fox, Jeff, we had to replace a entrance culvert there. Quarry Loop was a mess the other day from that hard rain. Keith knows that. We had a lot of work we had to do down there. That was, people probably get tired of me saying that. That was a unique rain event to get 4 or 5 inches on a Saturday, Sunday, and turn around and get 3 or 4 the next Tuesday.
With about 6 to 8 inches, depending on what part of the county we're talking.
Sam them got 10.
With
10. Okay.
Yeah. And that's about it. So that's where we're at.
Well, I got a phone call Sunday night, and you don't get too many of these phone calls, but they called me and told me, thank you on that road.
Which one?
Ginseng.
Ginseng?
Yeah.
That one turned out okay. I
Yeah,
was nervous,
it was
very nervous about that
Bad
one.
need of it, and you done an
It
excellent
might have been
job.
the original chip, I'm not so
Yeah,
sure.
they did an excellent
There's
job.
nobody lives in between. There's farmland, but there's nobody living in between, but
They're
people
driving
travel it.
That road is a good example where chip seal is the right answer. Verner's got one where chip seal is the right answer.
Yeah. Yours
Keep
floods.
off.
Yours flood or something there.
It floods, but nobody actually lives on it.
Yeah.
It's farming all through there.
Anything else, Brad?
No,
sir.
Okay, good report. John, a landfill solid waste report?
I'm getting cover material on and seeded and strawed this fall while weather's still decent to let stuff grow. Hayden's gonna start blasting probably with this week, so met with him last week to make sure we get size and grass on the proper line where they're supposed to be. Other than that, just normal operations. A quick update on Samuel Hall, that's come along pretty good. Got the bathrooms framed up, put metal on the inside of the building, insulation's up, got the addition framed up, metal on the outside. Start roughing electrical this week.
Looking real good, I think.
It's looking pretty good. It's gonna be big,
Great.
big upgrade.
Yeah. The question, not taxable property, and Barbara Tishner at PDO office won't be reassessing us.
That's right.
419, the accident, where was that?
It was in Balltown.
Okay. What was the deal on that? What did it hurt on the truck?
On our truck, just the tipper, basically.
Okay.
And we're working with the insurance, their insurance company.
My hip in my hip.
Yes, we were very lucky.
Lights were on and all? like-
Lights were on, got video of that as soon as I showed up, checked the lights. No fault of ours, just the guy was bent over looking at his phone. So it's just.
John, you might want to, if you get a chance, send them that picture.
Okay.
By email.
You guys haven't seen the car?
Send it by.
You haven't seen the car?
We'll get there next week.
But it was an accident that John had sent it to me immediately after it happened. That somebody had to get hurt. And we were very grateful that nobody got hurt. It was very serious.
I mean, somebody got cut in half.
Yep, our guy was pretty shook up, but
Yeah.
everybody's okay.
Good.
The sheriff, there's a good example of why the garbage men need to be hazardous duty retirement too, isn't it?
I wouldn't trade them.
You
You have your monthly report in front of you. 607 calls were responded to in the month of September. 140 of those were incomplete. Incompletes were a little bit higher because of the events we worked in September, Bourbon Festival and whatnot. So each time the truck responds, it gets a number. 22 times we returned to the station. From one of the ends, we returned to Bardstown for coverage during the month of September. Again, based on the events that we were covering, we had to bring the truck back, try to keep coverage. 13 patients were treated and not transported, so that was about the same as normal. I also included in your report your mileage and an update of our fleet. I would like to get today approval from the court to bid for a new replacement truck. And I'd like to do that 3 separate bids if we could. I want to bid for a newer demo. I want to see a bid on that. I want to bid for a remount that has already been built by a company that's already out there. And then like a third bid from a company that would take one of our units and put it on a new
traditional
chassis.
remount. A traditional remount that we
Right. So we'll be looking to put out for advertising of 3 separate.
3 separate ways.
3 separate ways and bring that information back to the court probably.
And that's in our budget.
November. We
That's in our budget.
have a truck budgeted. so.
I knew Mr. Lear was going to ask that question.
For one or two ambulances.
One.
We replace one.
Depends on which
We'll
one
choose
gives you the
which
best
one is
price.
best suited for us.
I'll make the motion to
Advertise.
advertise for that.
Thank you, Sam. Second by Jerry Hahn. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Hopefully, we'll have that information in about our last meeting in November or first meeting in December.
This 2012, is that the only gas unit we've got out there?
It's done very well.
Done real well.
But we're starting to have a power loss. It's getting some engine wear that
$342,000 at all. It served its purpose. Thank you, Jim.
The other thing, last night we hosted just a briefing on some goings on. We hosted a dinner for Dr. Alan Smith at Maywood Country Club. A few weeks ago, he received the Medical Director of the Year Award for the state at our state conference in Lexington. The group failed to notify him, so he was not there to receive that award. So we felt it appropriate to do something for him locally. Thank Judge Watts for coming out, giving opening remarks. We had representatives from Marion, Washington, Bullitt, first responders that were there, about 50 or so folks that honored him and his family was there, so that turned out real well. Today, we'll be hosting a lunch at Station 1 here for the regional directors that surround us, and we do that quarterly at different services in our region to have discussion on things such as reimbursement, employee retention, such as that, and share ideas. So we'll be hosting that today. That's pretty much catches you up for EMS. EMA, I have a couple of things, update on the weather siren projects that we have going on. As you know, we've got a couple of grants for replacement of sirens. One is already done earlier this year at Boston Fire Department. We have a siren that has come in that is to replace the one at Nelson County High School that was under Homeland Security grant, fully funded. We have an EMP grant under Emergency Management Special Project. That siren is in to replace Bloomfield. That's a 50-50 match, and we've already approved that and done it. I talked to Judge Watts yesterday or day before last week.
Yesterday.
There are surplus funds left in the EMPG grant funding cycle for this 2016-17, so they've opened up for additional special projects. We can apply for another grant. It's a 50-50 match. We do not need the full $17,000 grant that we got this time because we can use some of the old parts. So we would be looking at, if we wanted to replace another siren, we'd be looking at about $12,000 grant application, which would be a 50-50 that the court would need to approve if we wanted to move forward.
Why don't you tell them about the next project before we,
Okay.
I know how this works.
You want me to update the law project?
The law.
Okay. Back in July, we started talking about repeater systems and connecting repeaters for the sheriff's office so they would have better coverage. There's technology that allowed us to connect a repeater from New Haven Tower, Salt River Radio Tower, and we have permission to put a repeater on the Chaplain water tank from the city of Bloomfield and tie those three repeaters together so the deputy or the law enforcement officer does not have to change anything in their mobile radio. The three repeaters constantly send out every 3 seconds a ping, and whichever repeater they're closest to is the radio they would be operating on. They wouldn't know any difference. So we got an estimate originally in July for $13,900 for the technology and the additional equipment to make that work. Since July, we have been continually working. Matter of fact, we have New Haven and Salt River working today, but they're turned off because we don't have a complete package. But our estimate was based on the fact we would use our existing repeaters. They're Kenwood repeaters. The technology that we're using to make this work is ICOM technology, a company called ICOM, which is also a big radio company. What we have found out in the testing of New Haven and Salt River is the Kenwood repeaters do not work well with the ICOM technology. They work, but they failed 3 different times in a week on losing transmission. So we had the company come back with an updated quote to do this right. We're going to need about 8,000 more, and we're using ICOM repeaters rather than the Kenwood repeaters we had. We won't be throwing the Kenwood repeaters away because fire, EMS, the rest of us use the same repeaters. So if we have a failure, we'll have a spare Kenwood to use in those places. Bottom line is to make this rock solid, make it work. We're looking at, instead of the $13,900, we're looking at about a total cost of $21,000.
$21,000, a little less than $21,000.
So
You already approved 13,000 some change or
So
so.
what we need from the court is to approve
An additional $8,000 or so.
You can't take the grant money you were talking about earlier and roll that into this project?
No, the grant money we're talking about is emergency management funds, and this is, that's for law enforcement, so it's.
Have you checked and see if there's any grant for that?
There wouldn't.
Well, let me just say this, guys, time is of essence on this project. We've been working on this to upgrade. Well, we've gotten better in we've making some great progress in the last
couple of months.
last 60 days, 90 days. And I want to keep this moving forward, and I would ask fiscal court to
We
approve.
take it out of the sheriff's budget.
Yeah. Sheriff's gonna turn us over some money.
Half and half. Look at half.
He's gonna turn us over some money. He's gonna turn us over some money.
You don't pay for it, just.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the additional $8,000 by Jerry Hahn, second by Keith Metcalf. Further discussion? All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion carries. Now, go back to that one, I wanted to nail it down. Going back to the grant that you're asking for the outdoor weather siren, $12,000, so we're gonna need $6,000, $7,000 for the court.
Where's the next one that needs
Do
to
you
get
need a
rid of?
motion on that now, or wait till the grant?
No, we need to apply for that grant. We need a motion to.
No, he's applying for it if the court's not supporting the project.
Yeah,
There's a lot of paperwork.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to apply at least $6,000, $7,000, whatever's needed in that grant application by Bernard Ice, second by Jeff Lear. Further discussion? All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion carries. Joey, what is your recommendation for a replacement? Which one? We want to, again, we're on a path to replace all of our outdoor warning sirens. They're about 20-some years old now.
2002 was when we first started.
No, I thought it was before that. I thought Jim Aiken got us started on that
Well,
like in
you're correct. We got like
1997,
4 that are 96.
96. Yeah.
And then 2002, we made another big push. We have 12 sirens in the county. The city has 6. We have now replaced 3, and actually we replaced 2. We're adding a siren at Nazareth Complex
Jeff's district.
as a new addition. It'll be solar powered, so they won't have to have electricity to it. We talked to them, we have a spot next to the water tank out there that we're gonna, Salt River will put us a pole up, do that one. We replaced the one at Botland, Balltown has replaced, Bloomfield, and this one we're looking at New Hope or Boston as the next thing. I'm looking at the oldest sirens and trying to get those
And
out.
a few of them got parts we
You can take the older sirens and they use parts off them to maintain the sirens that we currently have, the rotating.
And
The
remember
new
those
sirens
are-
are not rotating, there's no moving parts.
Right.
The old sirens, you have a gearbox and a belt, and those things deteriorate, but the new ones we're going with are no moving parts.
And just for the public to continue to be aware of, these are for if you're outdoors. They're not, if you hear them in your house, that's a bonus, but they're really, if you're outdoors and having some activity outside, it's to give that, and they've been very effective over the years, Bill, don't you think so?
Yeah.
And the public really likes them.
Last thing I have is we ordered a radio for landfill for the compactors. It came in, I programmed it up to their frequency, and I think we can talk about later this week or first next week getting that installed in the compactor.
Okay?
Joe did great on that. I don't know if you guys know that. They save us a lot of money doing that in-house, so that's a
We
great
were
service.
able to get a radio for that compactor that normally is $450 for $150. And then there won't be an installation charge. So
Yeah.
we're pretty good.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Y'all report, Dorcas.
Okay, today we have a total of 163 inmates. We have 4 in Hardin County. We don't have any on home incarceration, so we've got 52 state inmates. We've got 3 serving weekends. We have 4 after court in other counties. So we have an in-house total of 152. For the month of September, on the controlled intake, we averaged, it was 904 man days. That was a daily average of 30. Class Bs at 668 man days. That was a daily average of 22. Nelson County inmates at 3,472 man days. That was a daily average of 115. So the total for September was 5,044 man days. That's an average of 168 inmates a day. New arrests and releases for September, the arrivals and males, we had 156, females was 89, that was a total of 245 releases. The males was 145, females 82, that was a total of 227 releases. Okay, sentenced in district court, we have 5. We also have 3 that out of district sentenced to weekends. We have 19 waiting for court. It says we have 3 on home incarceration. We don't have any right now. The last one got off yesterday. Work release, we have 1. Controlled intake, we have 36. Class Bs, we have 16. Circuit court serving weekends, we don't have any. Community service, we have 6. Work release out of circuit, we have 1. We have 5 that's sentenced to jail out of circuit, and then we have 1 from drug court serving time. So we have in circuit court 75 that's awaiting court, so we have a total of 94 that has not been sentenced. Of course, we have circuit court this week, and we also have district court twice this week, so. Our biggest problem right now is the females. We have
Overpopulated.
overpopulated. I even called several jails to maybe get some of their beds that we can house the females in, but we'd have to pay board bill, but they don't have any beds, none of them.
They're all in the same predicament. Thank you, Dorcas.
And they did start Friday sealing the showers and
Yes, I got the picture from, Brian sent some pictures.
it looks like it's gonna turn out pretty good.
Yeah, thank you, Dorcas. I'm going back to item number 1, the industrial revenue bonds for Lux Row Distillery and the Heaven Hill Distillery. We're going to postpone that reading today. We're going to get that on target for our first reading, our first meeting in November. I'm going to get you the hard copies of those documents to read. And then we will have that nailed down by our second meeting in November. Plenty of time to do what you got to do, Jeff. And does anybody have any questions for Jeff? Jeff, you got any comments you want to make?
No, thank you all.
But,
Can I ask a question?
yeah,
What happens if this, I know it's a foreseen question, but if they go bankrupt, who owns the building?
If they go bankrupt, then a trustee in bankruptcy would no doubt exercise on the option to purchase it back from the county and be able to sell it for what
Open
we
market.
get for it.
yeah.
I mean, that's a horrible worst case that none of my clients.
I understand.
But it's a valid question.
Yeah, I understand. I had another question. Suppose they sell it. We made this deal with who owns it now.
Right.
And suppose they sell it. We didn't make that deal with, we don't know what the new people's gonna do. We kinda know what the people's doing now that own it. So where's that at?
In an IRB transaction, there is a.
No, it transfers, doesn't it, the way I read?
It transfers.
It's just like a real estate.
In any IRB
It's in that
transaction,
document.
if somebody else operates the distillery, if it's XYZ company, I mean, Maker's Mark is sold and, and it's now owned by Suntory, that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That's at the stock level, but as long as you're getting the benefit of the bargain, I think that's the deal, regardless of who holds the time.
All right, well, thank you.
Just like, it's actually in the documents where the transfer is, just like any other real estate deal. Transfers with the deal. Okay, recreation report, Tyler?
This starting Thursday, soccer tournament starts, so they wrap up this weekend. A couple competitive games the next week, but soccer for the most part ends this weekend. As you've seen in the bills, we paid for a sod job there on one of the baseball fields. That was a joint project. Baseball paid $1,500 of that price, so we paid like $900 of it to get that done because we had a lot of drainage issues on that field to make it a lot better. Besides that, just normal operations, just trying to get everything ready.
How do you keep working on those fields? Is it, probably the Major League Baseball people are going out here and start getting some advice from you, but you put your heart and soul into it. I thank you for it.
I appreciate it, but just kind of wrapping up for the winter.
Okay, under old new business, Sheriff, you have anything before we go in? Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have anything to report, magistrates? Okay, at this time, entertain a motion from fiscal court to go out of regular session and the closed session per KRS 61A10-1F, where discussions might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee. Motion to approve.
I'll make it.
By Sam Hutchins, second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, motion carries. If I can clear the courtroom, please. With everybody but the sheriff.
But there is a section in here, I read that.
Okay, if I could, Elaine's ready. We'll get a motion to go out of closed session and back into regular session.
So moved.
A motion been made by Sam Hutchins, second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye.
Yeah.
Disapprove, and motion will carry. No other business before the court today. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll do it.
Motion by Bernard Ice, second by Jeff. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove?
Jerry, you're slipping.
Disapprove?
I'm disappointed in him.
Motion carries unanimously. Keep it a little late on yes, but no action.
I hate to leave good company, but I gave you down to court. Unless somebody needs-